This is the Sling TV Box Express 4K S5 Max. It's a smart media player if you want to watch your TV shows, your Netflix, your Amazon Prime, whatever. Now, it does say Sling TV Box. First of all, Slingtbox did send me this product to take a look at, but all opinions are of my own. They have no say in how I unbox and set this up. This does say Sling TV Box, not Slingbox. This is Sling TV. This is completely different. This is not the Slingbox that went out of business. Just basically a 4K media box. And we're going to be unboxing it. We're going to be setting it up next. All right. So you'll be able to watch Netflix, you'll be able to watch Amazon, you'll be able to watch whatever streaming channels that you have. They'll most likely be available on here. I'm guessing this is on an Android operating system, and we'll be taking a look at that as we go as well. The S5 Max is their top of the line Sling TV box, from what I understand. What we got here is, of course, the unit itself, an Ethernet cable, a USB-A plug. This is an A to C cable mostly for charging, I'm guessing. An HDMI cable that you can go into your TV. And then, of course, we have the remote and the manual itself. So here we have all the units. Let's go ahead and take the plastic off this. Let's see if there's any extra plastic. Doesn't look like it. And let's take a closer look at this simple box. It looks like it's pretty small, as you can see. It's about my finger's length. Right here. We'll start on the back here. USB-C for power. We got 1 gigabit Ethernet. It says HD. I'm not sure. Well, it's going to be doing 4K. That plugs in through the HDMI cable. We have an AV cable. I'm not sure if that's just a headphone jack. Most likely just a headphone jack, not a TRRS jack on there. On this side, we have 2 USB cables, or 2 USB ports. I'm guessing these are maybe 2.0 because they're black, but we have the reset button right here. And then we have a TF card so we can put in extra storage. There's supposed to be 64 gigabytes in here for storage already. Nothing on the front, and then nothing on this side right here. On the bottom, you have mount holes, so you could actually put this on a wall, or you could get probably a little attachment for your TV, so you can put it behind your TV. All right, let's see what we got for batteries. I'm hoping they're AAA, because that's all I got right now. We got two AAA batteries that go in here, the HDMI cable, and then of course this thing right here, 5 volt. 2000 milliamps, so 2 amps basically, just a little shy of 2 amps on this, and 5 volts, so standard, just like a phone plug-in. So this plug will most likely work without a problem. So I'll just plug that in, and we got a little red light right there. Cool. I am hoping that this is going to be Wi-Fi. It's also got an Ethernet option. I do have an Ethernet cable I could plug in. But we saw a red light, now we see a blue light, which I'm guessing is some sort of setup option. We've got a portable monitor here from QH. I did a review on this a little while back. It says, "Welcome to Sling TV Box. Thank you for choosing the Sling TV Box. Blah 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 blah." Of course, it's going to ask for my Wi-Fi, so maybe I will grab a Ethernet cable and plug that in. Welcome to Sling TV Box. I'm hoping it doesn't say, "Hey, we've got a firmware update that we need to do." Well, yeah, it does do. Yeah, it's downloading a firmware update as we speak right now. So there it is, right there. It says we have a live TV option, although I don't think there's a tuner in here, so I'm not exactly sure what the live TV would do. You can choose from, I'm guessing it just reboot from a firmware update. So we can choose Google or Player or Calendar or Gallery or Calculator or Music. And it does have a Miracast receiver inside of here, but this does not have a TV tuner inside, so you can't get over-the-air channels. So adding live TV just like that. We got VOD, voice on demand apps. These are the ones we can choose from. We can bring in other apps through Google Player. I don't see a Google Play Store. There is an App Store. It's saying that this is a third-party app store, and we'll agree to that. And then we have a bunch of other options. One of those options being My TV, Viva, YouTube. If you've got YouTube TV, I don't see Hulu on here. There is, if you're using NordVPN, you do have the option to do a VPN here. We got Facebook in here, My TV. There's Kodi right here, which is an APK, which we'll install. All right, so we got the Sling TV box. I put it up into the living room. You are in my living room. A little bit of mess, don't mind that. But the whole point is that I want to show you how the Sling TV box works upstairs. So we have it connected up to an HDMI port, and we're good to go. As you can see, it's starting up. It takes about 30 seconds to do. So we have that same screen that we saw before. We've got our live TV area, our video on demand area, all the apps in the App Store. I actually added one of the apps. That's the My TV app. I'm going to talk about that in a second. And then, of course, all the settings right there. So it's very straightforward. You can be sitting on your couch and checking this all out. And of course, you're seeing some ads on the side there. Unfortunately, I don't know if there's a way to actually get rid of that. But of course, if you click on those, you'll see some pictures and you'll see some of that. The remote, by the way, has to be direct line of sight. If there's points where I lowered the remote too much and it doesn't react to the box. So it's very important that you got to give it a good line of sight. I would highly suggest putting the Sling TV box lower than you. That way it's in that line of sight area as you go. As you can see, we've got all our apps and everything. My TV, this is an actual very interesting app because it's doing network TV and getting channels that I didn't think I'd be getting here. And I set up some favorites from this, but it's pulling it all from somewhere. For instance, we're going to be watching A&E right here from this list. And if I go in here, I can set the entertainment. We can see a bunch of channels. We can go through the list. There's movies, there's religion, documentary, or you can just go through the list. I set up my favorites, so I can go up to my favorites right here. And these are all the favorite channels that I have, from A&E to AMC to Access TV and a lot more. So we've got a lot of options right here for this, and that's pretty cool. So network TV, I have a few channels to choose from. They don't always work all the time, and they also freeze a little bit. So have it connected to a landline, you're going to do better than if it's a Wi-Fi connection. If you've ever used one of these boxes, you know that there's going to be apps that are going to be a little bit questionable. So like the Viva TV and the Syncler and all of these other ones. These are going out and finding movies and TV shows that people put up on different servers so you can watch it. And if you're looking at this, you're seeing some of these are movies that are actually still in the theater right now. And some of them will be pirated. Some of them will be pirated in a different language. Some of them will be subtitled. So this I highly recommend staying away from, because most of the times these videos, these movies are just horrible because they're being recorded in a movie theater. And once again, they're also not going to be in a language that you'll be able to understand unless there's a subtitle going. Let's go back to the home page. You can go to the App Store and find other apps. This is a third-party App Store site. And so these are all the ones we have here, including NordVPN, which is a VPN host. And the one thing about NordVPN is that you could actually set this up. You could say that this Sling TV box is not in the United States, it's in England. Then you might have a bit different bunch of choices there. With NordVPN, I believe you're gonna have to have a subscription to that. So we put on Google, and of course we could add that in here. Or we put on YouTube, excuse me, so we could add it in here. Just hit the plus button, choose YouTube, the back button, there it is right there. So we have the TV channels, we have YouTube, so let's go into YouTube. Of course, it's not logged into anything, and which you can log into. Be a little bit conservative about that. These are shorts, but what's interesting is that they're being viewed in HD format, not in a short format. We have to sign in. Let's Go back to home. And then once again, we're gonna need some sort of keyboard. A Bluetooth keyboard. They have wireless Bluetooth keyboards that are pretty much the size of like a remote that you can use to get started from there. In all, this is a pretty decent over-the-top television device. It is a little bit older and the design is a little bit kind of janky. We got customer service here, and of course that brings up a QR code and a phone number with email. It's blurred out by design through here. You can definitely contact their customer support and find out more stuff. And then of course you can also set up function keys. So within a function key, you could have it go to a specific app once again. And then when you're on your keyboard, you can go F0 and that'll go to YouTube. We got our folder list. So if you want to bring in any videos or anything like that, pictures, you can definitely do that. This does have some sort of sharing options to it, and that's all through the settings. So you can set up the device name, you can set up your accounts and bring in your apps and all your preferences. Now, like we saw before, this is the S5 Max. It is got 128 gigabytes of flash memory inside, 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is more than enough to watch a 4K video. It is the Big Droid OS 2.0.1. and its kernel version, its security patch is October 5th, 2021, which is rather old, but a lot of these boxes are exactly the same. And the kernel version is 2024 of last year. So I'm hoping that there's going to be some sort of update to that. So, but this security patch level, that's what always concerns me and why I tell people, hey, you know, this might be a decent system, but you want to be careful in what information you're putting in there. I'm not sure how to put Hulu on. I'm not sure how to put anything else on besides the apps that they have, unless you go through the browser or sideload an app. If you're going to do that, once again, take it from a site that's more reputable than anything else, because you don't want to sideload a malware Hulu app or Netflix app or anything like that. So, but for the most part, if you are looking for a device that's going to help with your over-the-top television needs, it's a decent device. It's a little bit slow. The remote is not as solid as I'd like it to be. And of course, you got to really have line of sight to run this, or else it doesn't work. You got to push down on these buttons. At least that's what I've had to do when I'm running this from here. But for the most part, you can hook it up to Wi-Fi. You can hook up Bluetooth devices like a keyboard, mouse. You can hook it up to your network through a LAN cable as well, and be able to enjoy videos and audio and everything else. You don't need to use the apps that are here, but they're there if you choose to. And of course, if you're going for some of these apps that are trying to download questionable content, it doesn't always work, and sometimes it's just not worth it. Simple as that. So, but anyway, what do you think? Do you have the Sling TV box? Let me know in the comments below over at youtube.com/Geekazine, Geekazine.com. You can like, subscribe, you can hit that bell notification so you know when the next video comes out. Until next time, you guys geek out and watch a little bit more TV using Sling TV Box.